It's another Extra Butter at Home. The #1 Broadway musical of all time is now still a Broadway musical, but you can enjoy it at home thanks to Disney. Our own Tara Hitchcock goes 1 on 12 with the entire original cast of Hamilton. Also, just in time for the sentencing of the Golden State Killer comes one of the most fascinating crime drama series ever. And even more fascinating, the love and devotion behind the making of it. Patton Oswalt joins us to explain. And the Eurovision Song Contest movie, Only Something Will Ferrell Could Bring. It stars and more on this very special episode of Extra Butter. It's very special because I said so, right there.
Hey, what's going on? You found it. Welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us at Extra Butter. My name is Marquez Allen. Thanks for joining us on the show. You're watching safely from home. I'm still doing the show safely from home, which brings up this disclaimer. You might hear my air conditioning kick off from time to time. Yours probably will be too. In fact, that might be fun. Quiet for a second. Be very quiet. I want to hear your air conditioning. That's some good air conditioning. What do you got that set on? 75? Not very economical, but to each their own. All right, let's move on. All right, this is a movie show. It's won Emmy Awards for talking about movies, yet from time to time we deviate, and why not in times like this? You're watching stuff safely from home on every size screen, and everything is up for grabs these days. Come on, you're gonna eat some extra buttered popcorn with just about everything. Why not this? It's an HBO original series. It is now launched. It's called I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsession with the Golden State Killer. It's written by Michelle McNamara. Now, if you're just catching up to speed on this, she was the wife of Patton Oswalt and passed away right before the book was published, and of course, right before this series was made, and of course, before this guy was captured. All right, enough of me rambling about it. Let's let the experts talk about it. The director of this series, Garbus, and the guy who made it all happen and brought his wife's dream to fulfillment, it's Patton Oswalt.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, guys, the important 2 questions off the top. Where are you, and how are you?
I'm at home in Los Angeles right now.
And I am in Brooklyn, New York.
All right, guys. I'm a little bit biased, as I may have mentioned in the intro to you, but I've got to say, this is one of the most remarkable crime drama series ever made.
Well,
wow.
Thank you, but thanks to Liz for that. That is, believe me, that is Liz's doing.
Liz, a great collaboration. Talk about this dream team and how this went down.
It was incredible, I have to say. First starting with Patton and his trust and generosity and sharing everything. He sort of sounded like he was checking into prison. I had to turn over all my tapes, but the leap of faith he took was quite extraordinary and was, I think, an act of love for Michelle. And I had an incredible team working with me, going through all of this. And yes, our goal was to make you feel like you were alongside Michelle as she was investigating this insane case.
Yeah, Patton, speaking of being alongside Michelle, like I said, I walked in some of the same footsteps, in the same neighborhoods where evidently this guy was roaming. Did Michelle, during her research for the book, spend time in Sacramento?
She did, and you'll see that in the documentary. She went up there, she walked the neighborhoods, drove the neighborhoods where the crimes happened. I think at one point she even made a mix on her iPod of the songs that would have been playing on the radio during those years while she would drive around and while she would write. Like, she wanted to absorb just the atmosphere, the smell of the flora, affected her writing. So she immersed herself.
She had written about crime before, but what do you think it was with this one story that caused her to become obsessive? Why this one? Well,
this one in particular, I think it's because it was so many crimes, so many years, so much evidence, and yet he wasn't caught. And then it had been forgotten. It was such a horrific series of crimes. Why was it not more in the public consciousness? So that many questions piled up on this one cold case. It was just irresistible for her.
I know you're going through the work during a time of sorrow. Is there something therapeutic about the process of doing it in that way, with this timing, as it were?
I mean, well, there's a therapeutic aspect and anyone who's gone through grief will tell you, there's a therapeutic aspect to simply living every day. But it does feel like, not to be too cliche, but when there's something left undone that someone that you cared about was really, really cared about, and they left before being able to finish it. If you're able to finish it for them and be the expediter of this work of theirs, that is definitely therapeutic.
I highly recommend it. Streaming right now on HBO and HBOMax. It is I'll Be Gone in the Dark. All right, shifting gears when we come back on Extra Butter for something entirely different. And lo and behold, I might have a box of free stuff to give you for it. It is Eurovision Song Contest, the story of the Fire Saga. I'll be talking with the cast next. Hey, welcome back, and thanks for hanging out with us on Extra Butter. Thanks for watching, and shout out to the men and women all over America watching in 168 different countries and territories worldwide on AFN. Thank you for taking care of America and keeping us independent during this time. Also, thank you for watching on YouTube. What? You're not watching on YouTube? Watch on YouTube. Be sure and like and subscribe. One reason you should do that involves this week's movie. The new comedy this week, Eurovision Song Contest, the story of the Fire Saga. I've got a box of free stuff that I'm going to be gifting if you like and subscribe on YouTube. I've got mariachis, I've got an award for whoever does it best, I've got all kinds of stuff that makes noise, and a wireless microphone so you can broadcast, perhaps illegally, everywhere. All right, moving right along. This movie would be nothing if not for Will Ferrell. He wrote it, he produced it, it stars Rachel McAdams. The Notebook also would be nothing if not for her, and dare I say Mean Girls as well. Also stars Dan Stevens. I had a chance to catch up with the cast to talk about it. Take a look. Dan Stevens, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, good. How are you?
Great. I had so many people in the Zoom earlier saying, so where is he? In the UK? Yeah, he's in the UK. No, he relocated to the US. How does it feel to have so many people worried about where you are right now?
Well, these days it doesn't really matter. We're here. We're connected. I'm actually in Los Angeles in a broom cupboard. Yeah, I used to live in the UK and obviously grew up steeped in Eurovision.
That is a lovely place to be steeped in. I had no idea, and I apologize for being so ignorant. I had no idea this was a real thing until this movie was coming out.
I love it. And you're not alone. I think half of America are unaware that this is an actual thing. And I think it's an amazing thing. And it's very entertaining to have to explain to people exactly what it is, because it is a real challenge. It's a totally bizarre phenomenon that's existed since the late 50s and happens every year and is one of the biggest television events on the planet.
And here's where I may embarrass myself, because I know it's parody. I know it's supposed to be Will Ferrell over the top, but I found myself actually liking most of the music within this movie.
There's an amazing array of great songs in there. There are some terrible ones as well, but I think there are 12 original songs written for this movie. And yeah, many of them are great, incredibly catchy. I love my song, Lion of Love.
Someone tonight will meet the Lion of Love. Someone tonight will meet the Lion of Love. Lion of Love.
It was so funny, and that was one of the things that really hooked me into wanting to do the film, was getting to perform that. And it really is representative of a particular kind of style of Eurovision song, that very kind of over-sexualized, bombastic performance.
Yeah, speaking of over-sexualized, I mean, in your young career, you've done it all. You have Beauty and the Beast, Downton Abbey, but what can you tell me about this guy?
I love the slideshow you got going on there. Well, I mean, he's got George Michael's hair and very few clothes on, but you know, he's a real kind of prince of Eurovision. You know, he's very much the voice of experience in our movie. He's been there before. He knows the score. And, you know, he's mysteriously wealthy, hosts these incredible parties around the competition. And, yeah, he's an amazing figure, really.
I have a unique connection to you. My producing partner, Howard Bird, produced Criminal Activities and says you are one of the kindest people on the planet.
Oh, that's very nice to hear.
Rachel, good morning. Where are you and how are you?
I'm on the West Coast and I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Even better after seeing this. Every now and then, a movie hits at the right time, the right spot. This is exactly what I needed when I screened it. I can't wait for you to unleash it on the world. Talk about the making of this movie. It looks exhausting in that just trying to sell this 100% without breaking scene because you were laughing at something else taking place in the room. How did you do it?
I mean, I have to give credit to Will because Will is, he's the king of deadpan comedy and he does not break. You cannot break that man. Don't even bother trying. Oh, yes. Oh, I tried all the time. That would have made me feel so good. But no, he's tough. He's very professional.
I'm embarrassed to say, I love the music in the movie. Which of these songs got stuck in your head?
I mean, truly all of them. But Ya Ya Ding Dong that we play in the bar. Yeah. That one's a real earworm.
Ya, ya, ding dong, ding dong.
I thought Ya Ya Ding Dong was a real Icelandic folk song that they had just translated. And then I found out Savin wrote it for the film. So, yeah.
You guys perform it with such commitment. I thought it was a real song from the real thing too. So right. Ya Ya Ding Dong, like if like the Beatles had Hey Jude, if these guys have Ya Ya Ding Dong, I would say either The Notebook or Mean Girls is your Ya Ya Ding Dong, where you're just kind of over talking about it. Which of those two would be your Ya Ya Ding Dong?
Oh gosh. I mean, I guess Mean Girls comes up in terms of quotes the most. It's nice. It's always nice to hear that people are still watching something. But yeah, that one's probably like the most present in my world.
Hope you're checking out Eurovision, and don't forget, like and subscribe on YouTube because I've got lots of free stuff I'm going to be giving away in conjunction to those who do so. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, another remarkable movie. It is the #1 streaming family movie of the weekend. My Spy, Dave Bautista, Chloe Coleman. We'll talk with the cast next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Hope you're staying out of the heat, unless you enjoy the heat, and I hope you're doing something fun in the heat. All right, you know who's bringing the heat? These two, a dynamic, unsuspecting duo. Dave Bautista and superstar Chloe Coleman do a phenomenal job in this movie, My Spy. It's brought to you by one of my favorite directors, Pete Segal. And you're probably saying, who's Pete Segal? Well, in case you don't know, he brought you 50 First Dates and a lot of other Adam Sandler movies. He became famous originally for doing The Nutty Professor and its sequel. And he happens to be the college roommate of my best friend, Larry Morgan. Oh, you don't care about my friends? Well, you're going to get more of my friends involved in this. I'll tell you why. Because this young superstar, Chloe Coleman, does a phenomenal job in this. She's also on the series Upload right now. In that series, one of my best friend, Andy Allo. We kind of grew in the industry together, and we talked about it. Take a look. All right, so we have a mutual friend, Andy Allo from Upload, is one of my dearest friends.
Oh my gosh. I love Andy Allo, everything about her, even her haircut. I really want to cut my hair that way for some reason. She's so sweet.
And she says the same thing about you. In every interview that I see you in, you are relentlessly positive. So what advice do you give to your generation to stay positive?
Just to always believe yourself and be yourself. I really feel sometimes that our generation is just trying to be like everybody else. And that can be a problem because then you can't be your unique self. Because when you're your unique self, you can make changes and, stand out and make a difference in the world. And, that's what the generation needs to do. Some people can be followers, and then there's some people who, really are themselves. And then they end up doing something amazing that just makes a better difference for everybody.
Your unique self is a great inspiration, and congratulations on the film. What part of your unique self is similar to your character?
Me and Sophie are both very technical. I have a PC that I've started 3D animation and a lot of editing on my iPad too. So I'm kind of techy with that. I'm not an expert at anything. I have so much to learn. But she's also like that because she uses her phone to come and find, JJ and Bobby in their little hideout. We do share, some sort of problems with school. School is very supportive. They're very supportive with acting. But sometimes when you're gone for a certain amount of time, you come back and you feel out of the loop, like you missed out on stuff. And, people just kind of don't exactly welcome you back the same. They more or less feel like because she's in this new town. She knows nobody, you know, so coming here, she kind of feels left out, and I know how she feels.
Absolutely. Hopefully you haven't been in the precarious situation she's in, but talk about the action scene that was the most active, where it wasn't left up to computer generation. You were doing the action, and it was fun, maybe scary.
It was both, because it's the first time doing stunts for sure, but it was so fun because the plane was set up on this rig, so it felt so real, you know, because they have this big hole dug and you look out the window with this blue screen and you have to feel like you're about to fall off a cliff. And that's what it felt like, because they have this plane tilting while you're in it and shaking, and it fills you with like adrenaline and energy just to make it feel real.
Well, everything is awesome in it. I just want to tell you, I guarantee you, we're going to be talking to you decades from now. You are a great addition to the film community and, for that matter, the world. So keep on being the unique you.
So much. That means so much to me.
How remarkable is she? I hope she runs for office for something someday. I definitely would vote for her. She's going to have a long career in this industry. All right, when we come back on Extra Butter, you waited for it, and it's now here. Hamilton, the musical, now a major motion picture, and you can have the best seat in the house. Tara Hitchcock, my friend, joins me along with the cast to talk about it next. Hey, welcome back to these fleeting final moments of Extra Butter. We saved the best for last, and I mean that in a multitude of ways. 2 ways specifically. Number one, my guest to talk about the next movie is having a huge birthday today. It's the world famous movie critic Tara Hitchcock, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
You know what? That introduction was my birthday present. Thank you, Mark.
Now, you and I have been side by side around the world on the set of some of the biggest tentpole movies of all time. And I've got to say, it's just been joyous watching your career grow. And thanks for the memories. And happy, are we saying what year this is for you?
It is the big 5-0. You bet we're saying what year it is. Absolutely.
I've got Botox in my veins older than 50.
I doubt that. Yeah, you know what, though? I feel like I'm, maybe 24. I'm not the most mature human you'll meet.
Well, I mean, for that, the reason I think we might be friends. Many people don't suffer fools like me. Well, you somehow put up with me. All right, let's talk about this movie. We've been in New York half of our career talking about movies there, and while there, we often talk about Broadway. In your experience reviewing the entertainment industry, have you known anything to be the juggernaut that Hamilton is?
No, I really don't. And I've been fortunate, like you said, I've seen Wicked, I've seen Lion King, Book of Mormon. I loved Book of Mormon with the original cast. That was such a big deal. That, to me, comes a little close, but nothing compares to just how difficult it was to get tickets, just the buzz surrounding it, the popularity of the original cast, which is what makes this and today such a big deal, besides the fact that it's my birthday.
My review of the movie, twofold. One, I say, never before has America needed this movie more than now. And two, this is absolutely the best seat in the house. You can say, yeah, that's true.
Not only that, Lin-Manuel Miranda himself would argue it's better than the best seat in the house, because even if you're in the center row somewhere, you're not behind King George as he walks down the steps. You're not above the stage. So you have literally kind of a God's eye view. And yes, the timing of this, he's also talked about the fact that this musical has hit everybody differently from the moment it started. And depending on what we're going through or what you're going through, the whole entire production hits you differently. There's no better time to watch this thing now in light of what's going on. And that's one of the things we talked about. But we also talked with the actors about access, because as you just mentioned, this is a tough ticket, or was a very tough ticket to get. Sadly, Broadway is closed right now. But they didn't have to go through that. They were in the production, so they didn't have to go through the struggles of everybody trying to see them. We talked about access.
Yeah, take a look, Miss Backstage.
I had the great privilege of, right after we left Hamilton, to go see Beyonce with Leslie Odom Jr. I think the reason why I got the tickets was because Leslie Odom Jr. got me the tickets. Matter of fact,
and Anthony and Jasmine were there too. Remember Anthony and Jasmine were there? Yeah.
I remember. So it was literally the three of us with our significant others were sitting there watching another phenomenon. We went to see the Ice Cube movie together. Like we would go together as a group to support other people's work. I mean, gosh, Leslie and I saw The Color Purple together. You got to get out and get inspired by other people, and we definitely did.
Well, it sounds like you also have to get the right friends to help get you access to some of these cool events. You guys are like the perfect group of friends.
Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton.
Have any of you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Help me set the scene. I'm in my house. Do I need snacks? I know there's an intermission. Should I dress up? Jasmine.
You gotta go all out with this, okay?
Definitely need snacks. I don't know, if you like to have a drink or two, a little dope beverage, don't go crazy though, because you don't want to be slumped for the second act.
Wear your pajamas and bring some popcorn and a big glass of wine.
This one you can just pause the intermission, so you don't need to worry about the line for the restroom or whatever. So you good. You good.
Oh, you just need a decent internet connection.
Any snacks? Do we need food?
I just don't take a shot every time they say my shot. You will not make it to the second act.
Do people take a shot every time you say my shot?
It might be the latest drinking game. I had no idea either. I'm going to have my popcorn and I'm just going to kick back and watch with the people I love.
All right, yeah, let's not be silly. People have already seen this probably 50 times by the time they're watching Extra Butter. But if they haven't, why do you think they should?
Everything you just said, it's interesting at a time where we are having to do a deep dive into our history, relearn a lot of things, learn a lot of things for the first time. This is an amazing way to watch the story of some of our founding fathers unfold. And as Oak said, we call him Oak, it's fascinating to know that the founding fathers may have been white, but this is a story that's told with a lot of black and brown faces, and it's just the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah, amen. All right, Tara Hitchcock, world famous, so that people can truly wish you a happy birthday. Where do they find you?
Well, I just posted my Hamilton interviews on my YouTube channel. That's number one, because you're the king of that. So that's Tara Hitchcock YouTube channel, this face, but on Instagram and Facebook at Tara on TV.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll link all of that to our YouTube channel, Extra Butter TV, where you can catch all of the interviews that you just missed. Speaking of which, I would be remiss if I didn't give you a sample of what your birthday present's going to be. It's some crap they sent me from the Eurovision Song Contest movie.
No.
You got some of these and a nice one of these. I'm going to give you the last few seconds of credits, so 10 seconds. Say whatever you want.
Mark, your friendship is my present. Congratulations on your Emmy that you just won. What is this, 10 or 12? And have a great, happy, safe 4th of July.